make sure to use your blinker. And second, although I do love getting text messages from all of you, don't text and drive. That's a no-no. Good driving etiquette equals safety for all. This campaign is brought to you by Morning Wave in Busan on BEFM. Oh, by the way, tune in to Morning Wave in Busan to get real-time traffic updates. You know your morning commute's better with me, Kat.
Today we bring to you a report on what to do in case of heavy rain. There's nothing like preparation when it comes to torrential downpour. Isn't that right?
That's right. You must turn off your gas and electricity and quickly evacuate from areas vulnerable to flash flooding.
What should we do if we are already outside?
Evacuate to a safe place, away from construction sites, underground spaces, and areas prone to frequent flooding. If you're driving, do not stop the car. Instead, slowly drive through the flooded area without stopping.
What should we do once the rain stops?
When going into buildings that have been submerged, do not touch electrical facilities and make sure to ventilate, as there is a risk of gas leakage.
We should also reduce preventable damages and prepare for disasters ahead of time by following safety guidelines.
That is correct. You can receive real-time safety information through the Disaster Safety Information mobile app, 안전 디딤돌.
Thank you for all the great information. Remember, your safety is everyone's safety. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산 영어방송.
지금 방송 광고라는 부메랑을 던져보세요. 소비자를 향해 정확히 날아가는 광고. 힘차게 돌아가는 경제. 부메랑처럼 다시 기업의 이익으로 되돌아오니까요. 방송 광고, 경제에 큰 힘이 됩니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
Korea's a land of trends, isn't it? Well, what about this trend? Dropping out of school to focus on the Suneung, the college scholastic ability test. Well, it seems that the exclusive Gangnam school districts are seeing a distinct uptick in the number of students who are opting out of school to go all in on the Suneung. And it's not just these well-known academically rigorous school districts that are witnessing this. These figures have risen steadily over the past few years. With the new 5-tier grading system in place for first-year high school students already this year, experts think this trend may only grow. What are your thoughts on this? This whole idea of, having to drop out of school to prepare for this one exam. What about socialization during your high school years? I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Tuesday, August 12th on BEFM 부산 영어 방송. Good morning to all the wavers out there, all the early birds checking in with us, especially on our YouTube channel. The chat room already lively, so thank you for the warm welcome. Let me ask you this. The current younger generation, do you think they're better or worse off than their predecessors? So the answer may depend on whom you ask and what metrics you use. But one thing for certain is that, they have their own problems. Well, of course, the current younger generation, we'll call them Gen Z or the really, really young ones, Gen Alpha, they're better off when it comes to economic means. But taking a closer look at their day-to-day lives, we are looking at things like sleep deprivation and added academic plus social stress. So according to the Korea Institute for Health and Social Affairs survey, almost 35% of children between the ages of 9 and 17 said that they don't get enough sleep. An average child in South Korea slept for 7.9 hours per day. For reference, and you might think, isn't that a lot? Well, let's compare. The U.S. National Sleep Foundation recommends between 9 and 11 hours for children aged 6 to 13, and then 8 to 10 hours for 14 to 17-year-olds. The reason may be obvious, right? Studies. 공부하는 거죠, 그렇죠? With academics, meaning going to school, and then we have the after-school academies or tutoring, plus the homework and the late study hours. So 야간 자율학습, or in shortened term we say 야자, at school accounting for 60% of all the reasons. But there were other issues as well, with social media usage accounting for over 15%. The research team that ran the study said that in the case of Korea, academic pressure for college admissions has really stretched the study time for young children and teenagers. This has, in return, led to a reduction in their sleeping time, leading to this persistent sleep deprivation. And at this rate, sleep deprivation seems to be, almost a social phenomenon in Korea across all ages. And we have to think about the physical and the mental toll it takes on young bodies and minds. And as I said in the opening, some kids opting out of school so that they can prepare for this, very important, but still, this exam. That is the status of young people these days. And now we're going to get to our text topic. This text topic is related to a story we're going to talk about later on. So here we go. Have you ever stood in line to get a hold of something that was really popular or trending? 자, 내가 줄 서서 사보거나 여기저기 뒤져서 구해본 유행템은? I'm so curious to hear your stories. Okay, so I'll be honest. I'm not a stand in line kind of a girl. I just don't. Very rarely. I think I've done it maybe once or twice, but I rarely stand in line for anything. But maybe you can tell me your stories of what you have stood in line for, or you searched high and low in every site available and you went to different stores to find this. What was it? So you can send in your responses to BEFM's live stream live chat on YouTube. So go to the YouTube platform, type in BEFM, and then you can find our channel. You can, of course, subscribe, log in, and chat with our other waivers. Also, from your phone, pound 9050 shop 9050. That's going to cost you 101. You can also reach me for free through Kakao Talk. And the good thing about that, you can send in your messages. And like some of our waivers do, you can send in photos as well. The ways you can tune into our program, Morning Wave in Busan, 90.5 or 103.3 FM on the radio. If you're in Busan, like I said, we're streaming live right now on YouTube. Check us out. You can watch again at your leisure, and also two apps, the BEFM app and also the Papang app, where you can download them very easily. They're both free. And looking ahead to our Tuesday morning lineup, we have Wave Sports with Andrew. In hour number 2, we have Bonnie with Simply Sustainable. And then for a special interview, have you guys tried it yet? The new version of, the Chat GPT 5. We're on version 5 already. So we're going to talk about the fact that it's touting PhD level abilities. Is this true? Have you checked it out yet? Let's find out more about this and why this may be important for all of us. That's coming up with our expert in hour number 2. I'll be back with news overview. It's now 7:07 and this is News Overview. President to pardon Joguk for Liberation Day. Former minor party leader Joguk will be pardoned and reinstated for Liberation Day under President Lee Jae-myung's first pardons, said the Justice Ministry yesterday. Fair Trade Commission raided in Kim Gun-hee investigation. The Minjung-gi Special Counsel team yesterday raided the state antitrust regulator as part of the corruption allegations involving former First Lady's so-called butler. Lawmaker Lee Chun-suk banned from leaving the country. The Seoul Metropolitan Police yesterday raided the office of lawmaker Lee Chun-suk and banned him from leaving the country as it has opened investigation into his borrowed name stock trading allegations. Major hospitals open applications for trainee doctors. Major teaching hospitals in the country have opened the application process for trainee doctors for the second half of the year. Trump deploys National Guard to Washington, D.C. U.S. President Donald Trump said he is deploying the National Guard troops to the nation's capital and taking control of the city's police force in an attempt to crack down on crime and homelessness. And this was News Overview. It's time for Now Busan, and today, once again, we have Steve filling in for Sejin while she's on vacation. Welcome back.
I'm back. 돌아왔어요.
돌았어요?
돌아왔어요. Yeah, I know.
producer's like, no.
It's early in the morning. 그럴 수 있죠. 네.
네. 제 귀가 이상한 거죠.
왔어요.
네,
왔어요.
발음을 diction.
네, 제 잘못입니다. It's my fault.
아니요, 제 귀가 이상하네요.
돌아왔어요.
Yes, we're happy to have you back. So, let's talk about our text topic.
Okay.
Have you ever stood in line for like that hot item?
Of course.
Oh.
Like, especially in
Yes.
Busan, I can't say the brand names. But like jelly 떡.
Oh,
You know that, right?
Yeah.
But it was really delicious. It was worth it. 그게 처음이자 마지막.
First and last.
Yeah.
Right. I've only stood in line for like an eatery, just for, it was a one-time thing, and it was for like 곱창.
Oh,
My
really?
family insisted. They were like, this is the place, let's go. And I went, and I was just like, when are they opening? When are they opening? They had me wait in line since like it was like 4 or 4:30, and I think they open at like 5 or 5:30, right? And I was just like, you're making me wait in line, and I was so irritated.
An hour ago?
It was just for an hour, but still, I was just really irritated. I was like, I don't wait in line.
Was it in Busan?
Yeah, it was in Busan.
Oh, okay.
But it was good. It was good. But afterwards, I was complaining throughout the meal, and then I kind of felt bad. So I stopped complaining. But still, I was like, Kat does not wait in line. Okay, so we're going to jump into Now in Busan. So, Steve, I hear that Busan just passed its first ordinance on child protection zone. So what's this all about?
Right. So Busan Jin District Council passed it on August 5th. It's called the Busan Jingu Child Protection Zone Operation Ordinance. And it's the first of its kind in the city. The goal is to create safer environments for kids and prevent crimes like abduction.
Yeah. So this is important. What exactly is a child protection zone? We might have a general idea, but we need the specifics.
Right. Under the Child Welfare Act, it's a designated area within 500 meters of places like schools, kindergartens, or parks where extra crime prevention measures are enforced. These zones focus on stopping crimes against minors, unlike school zones that mainly address traffic safety.
Yes. So what changes with this ordinance, though?
It allows the district to designate more areas, not just schools, but daycare centers, parks, and academy neighborhoods where kids spend time. It also calls for installing fixed CCTV, deploying safety personnel, and setting up real-time monitoring and emergency reporting systems. The problem is most of the 448 CCTVs currently in these areas were originally for traffic enforcement.
Okay.
So their crime prevention function is limited.
Okay. So was there a need for this like now? Is there a reason? Yes?
Yes, it is. Many existing zones were designated between 2014 and 2016, and there haven't been new ones since.
Okay.
Critics said the coverage didn't reflect how kids' daily routines have changed. This ordinance should close those gaps if they secure a dedicated budget for long-term management and maintenance.
And of course, we want our kids to be safe, whether they're our kids or just society's kids, right? Yes. All right, next, the city is warning people about some kind of seafood-related infection. What is going on?
Yeah, actually, something's going on right now.
Okay.
It's Vibrio sepsis, also called Vibrio sepsis.
Oh, what is this?
It's a serious infection that you can get from eating contaminated raw or undercooked seafood, or if seawater with the bacteria enters an open wound.
Oh, wow. That sounds kind of serious. Is this common?
It starts showing up when sea temperatures hit 18 degrees, usually from May or June, but it peaks in August as September.
Okay.
It's right now, right? The incubation period is 12 to 72 hours.
Yes.
Early symptoms are fever, chills, low blood pressure, stomach pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. Within 24 hours, you might see swelling, rashes, or blood-filled blisters, often on the legs.
Wow, that sounds quite serious.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Especially for people with chronic liver disease, weakened immune systems, diabetes, or alcoholism. The fatality rate is around 50%.
So technically, you could die from this. This is really serious.
It is really serious.
So I'm thinking prevention is really important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
The city's urging people to cook all seafood thoroughly and for anyone with wounds to avoid contact with seawater.
Okay.
It's a seasonal warning, but one worth taking seriously.
Yes. So for one, I love seafood. I know many people love, especially raw seafood.
Me too.
Got to be careful this time of year, right?
Of course.
Yes. Thanks for the heads up on that, Steve. All right, next, I hear that Busan is doing another survey about people who completely withdraw from society.
Yeah, you're right. These are individuals who live in isolation, often staying in one place and avoiding social interaction for long periods due to social, economic, or personal reasons.
Yes.
The city's second full-scale survey runs from today until September 15th.
Right. So which entity is carrying this survey out?
The Busan Research Institute is handling it. They'll use focus group interviews with academics and field experts to get concrete policy recommendations and also run an online questionnaire for socially withdrawn individuals and their families.
So what kind of questions might be on this survey?
Things like gender, age, how long they've been withdrawn, what triggered it, health conditions, daily activities, how they get information, how they try to recover, and what services they feel they need. Anyone who currently or in the past avoided social contact for long periods can take part.
Right. So I think more importantly, though, what happens with these results?
The city will use them to develop support plans and design programs that actually work. In the 2022 survey, most respondents were in their 20s and 30s.
Oh, younger people.
Yeah, and the most common withdrawal period was between 1 and 3 years.
That's quite, a lengthy time.
Yeah, it is.
So hopefully we'll get more information on people who might need support and get those support systems up. So thank you for telling us about this. All right, next, I hear that Haeundae Beach is getting a pop-up library. So
yes.
What's the story? Pun intended. What's the story behind this?
So on August 16th from 2 to 8 p.m.,
Yes.
the city and the Busan Cultural Foundation are hosting the Busan Sea Library summer special program at Songnim Park near the sand. The theme is Library by the Beach, Haeundae Bookcation.
Love it. I love it. So is it basically about people reading by the sea? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. There will be over 1,600 books, comfy reading zones, and interactive programs like copying favorite quotes, social media photo challenges, and even pet-friendly kits.
Ooh.
They'll also have a waterproof book section, wheelchair spots, and stroller-friendly path so everyone can join.
I like that. I like that they're being inclusive, right? Well, important. Is there a cost? Is it free? What's it going to cost us?
No.
No?
Admission fee.
Okay. I was going to say, you're just barking at me.
No.
Are you mad at me today?
No.
Okay. 아니,
I'm not
들어오자마자
돌아왔어요. I'm 돌아왔어요.
Okay, 돌아왔어요.
So, though some activities require advanced sign-up, details are on the Busan Sea Library website. The idea is to make the library more than just a building.
Yes.
To turn it into a cultural and relaxing space in one of the city's most iconic spots.
It sounds perfect. You know, we have the beaches, sun, sea, and of course now stories and books. So
Right.
can't go wrong. Well, thank you for 돌아와ing today. 내일도 돌아와 주세요.
Okay, 알겠습니다.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Bye.
All right, everybody. This was Steve, and I'll be back with your traffic and weather.
Good morning.
Good morning.
굿모닝입니다.
굿모닝.
좋은 아침입니다.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan. Major news, local buzz, and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
It's now 7:19, and here's your traffic report. So the Dongso overpass right now is congested going away from the city from Hwangyang Tunnel to the old Gaegum Tollgate. Also, Bunyeonglo looking busy going away from the city right around the Wondong ramp. Mandakdero is congested from Mandak Tunnel number 2 to Mandak intersection. It's also slow moving on Nakdong Namlo from Hadan intersection to Hagwon Bridge. Currently, it is 22 degrees Celsius under cloudy skies. It's raining in some parts of the city with a daytime high expected to go up to 28. Across the country, it is raining across the southern regions and cloudy. Daytime highs will go up to, in some areas, 33 degrees Celsius. So this was your traffic and weather. It is time for Top Stories. We have Haley in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yay, it's only Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
I don't know
no,
why I thought it was Thursday.
yays.
It
Don't.
was only
just
Tuesday.
don't. Oh, no, not yet.
Yes. Hey, for a text topic. Have you stood in line?
Yes. And I thought about it. And honestly cannot think of a time when it was not for food.
음식 아닌 것이 없다.
I'm like,
okay.
And I was like, yeah, in Daejeon, the bakery. And it's mostly bakeries. Because,
You go to all the hot bakeries.
I do. I love all the bakeries. I love bang. I'm definitely bangsunyi because my family loves traveling domestic, period. But traveling domestically. And then I always look for the hot places and they're usually bakeries. There's like that one place that's super famous. And I'm like, well, I'm in like 전남, I'm in Daejeon, I'm in like
So I gotta
Andong,
go.
and I'm like, I gotta go. I got to go. And then my dad is a little bit like, you really want to stand in line for bread? And so I park my parents at a cafe somewhere. I order them something. I'm like, wait here. I'm going to go wait in line.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to hear you complain. Like, I'm going to have my headphones in line, watch some reels. And
speaking of your dad,
yeah.
I got to tell this to our listeners. Yesterday, we walked out of the BFM office together. We went to the first floor, and then Haley's like, where's my dad, a.k.a. my chauffeur driver?
Yeah, like, he's late.
He's late, and I'm like...
I got places to be.
And then I was like, 안녕하세요. I'm like, how can you not recognize your dad or his car?
It was
like right
it was
there.
behind a pillar. Yeah, in my defense, it was behind a pillar. And I was like, oh, God.
And then you see me doing the 90.
Oh, and I'm like, oh, he's here?
90-degree bow.
He's here, okay.
Yeah, he's there. So yes,
he is.
Please find Dad. All right, we're going to get to our top story. The highly anticipated presidential pardons list is officially out.
It is. So the government announced that the president will pardon 836,687 people for Liberation Day. And this list includes former minor party leader 조국, who is in the middle of his 2-year sentence for academic fraud. 조국 also has been reinstated, which is 복권, meaning he can go back to running for office. The list also includes his wife, former Dongyang University professor Jeong Kyung-sim, along with former DP Democratic Party lawmakers Choi Kang-wook and Yoon Mi-yang, and former Seoul Education Superintendent Cho Hee-yeon, and former Vice Justice Minister Lee Yong-gu. Although notably absent from this list is former Gyeonggi Governor for Peace Lee Hwa-young, who was found guilty of remittances to North Korea, and Lee actually had personally appealed for his own pardons and reinstatement with the presidential office. And there may be an interesting reason for this, because pundits say that this could have been a decision to try to minimize political controversy because President Lee Jae-myung himself has been charged. His standing trial for the exact same charges. However, his case has been suspended.
Right.
And then going to the opposition side, former lawmakers Hong Mun-jong, Jung Chang-min, and Sim Ak-bong will be pardoned as well. By the way, these are the names that People Power Party or PPP floor leader Song Won-seok mentioned in his text message asking for these pardons with the presidential chief of staff Kang Hoon earlier last week.
Right.
Going to the business sector, former SK Networks chair Choi Shin-won will be pardoned as well. And multiple former Samsung Electronics executives who were linked to the bribery cases involving Choi Soon-sil and her influential peddling case, they will be pardoned as well. Finally, Justice Minister Chung Sung-ho said that the pardons focus on national unity and economic stimulation.
I see. Well, staying with President Lee, South Korean President Lee Jae-myung met with the top leader of Vietnam yesterday, right?
He did. So President Lee Jae-myung met with To Lam, the General Secretary of Vietnam's Communist Party, who's in Seoul for a state visit.
Yes.
So after a summit at Yongsan, Lee and Lam, they held a joint press conference where they said that the two nations will bolster cooperation in defense and security, along with National Assembly and local government level collaboration.
Yes.
The summit also likely opened up new outlets for South Korean firms, including Vietnam's new nuclear reactor project, the Transnational Expressway, and other major public infrastructure, as the two signed an MOU on fostering talent on nuclear fields. Overall, the joint statement includes a pledge to work to get the bilateral trade up to $150 billion by the year 2030.
Okay.
So Lee also invited Secretary Lam to the APEC summit in Gyeongju later this year, to which Lam responded positively. Also, Vietnam is the host nation for the 2027 APEC summit.
Right. So this seems to be maybe the president's attempt at, making his mark in diplomacy in Southeast Asia.
Right. Actually, not only in Southeast Asia, but this is a milestone visit because it is the first official state visit in the new Lee Jae-myung administration.
Right.
And he has pledged this pragmatic diplomacy. So first off, South Korea and Vietnam are each other's top 3 trade partners with 86.7 billion won between the two countries.
Yes.
And South Korea is Vietnam's biggest investor. So Lee Jae-myung, during his time as the chair of the Democratic Party, he then called on the government to retroactively compensate for the massacre of civilians by Korean soldiers passengers during the Vietnam War.
Right.
So he took particular interest in these issues, and actually he brought up the same issues again during a cabinet meeting earlier this month, where he also floated the idea of incentives for Vietnamese migrant workers working here in South Korea. So but for a larger picture though, Southeast Asia as a whole region, they are an important region for South Korea's especially export-driven economy.
Sure.
Because exports right now, especially with the U.S. protectionist policy, it has been shaking up the global economy, kind of making South Korea's export-driven economy a little bit on the tense side, therefore diversifying the country's export partnerships. That's become a major task,
right,
along with security partnership with its ASEAN partners.
That's right. So we're going to leave that story there for now and talk about our next one. All right, so the world's busiest flight route is apparently right here in South Korea.
This was surprising, but then when you hear it, you're like, yeah, that tracks. Okay, so the route between Gimpo, Seoul, and Jeju carried over 13.2 million passengers last year.
Okay.
So this is according to the International Air Transport Association, or the IATA, their report on the 2024 World Air Transport Statistics, which is an annual report from over 240 airlines across the world.
Yes.
Actually, this area, the Asia-Pacific region, was the busiest in the world in terms of air traffic, both passenger and cargo flights going in and out. The region dominated the top 10 with just the exception about one.
Okay.
So following the Seoul to Gimpo or Gimpo-Jeju line, second place was in Japan, the Sapporo to Tokyo's Haneda Airport at 9.2 million. So actually that's a big jump from 13.2 million in Seoul to Jeju to 9.2,
right,
just showing how busy that route is. Third place though, also in Japan, Fukuoka to Haneda Airport at 9 million. And for fourth place, we go to Vietnam, Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City, 8 million. And then still staying in the Asia Pacific, Melbourne to Sydney. Next, only the Jeddah to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia was not in the Asia Pacific, although Middle East still in Asia. So definitely busy here.
Yes.
Other busiest air routes were in India and 2 in China.
Okay.
So you can kind of see the picture there. But then going to the other continents, New York, JFK International Airport to LAX, Los Angeles, the busiest in North America with 2.2 million passengers.
Yes.
However, the United States was the biggest aviation market overall with 876 million passengers from last year. That was followed by China at 741 million. They've been really growing their aviation market as well.
Yes.
But going to Europe, in Spain, Barcelona to Palma de Mallorca was the busiest with 2 million passengers.
Oh, okay.
Bogota to Medellin in Colombia was the busiest in Latin America. In Africa, Cape Town to Johannesburg in South Africa was the busiest there as well.
Very interesting to take a snapshot. Look at the busy routes. All right. For now, we're going to move on to Trump's tariffs. So let's get an update. What's going on with China?
Right. So focusing on this picture, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said in an interview that the U.S. government plans to conclude trade negotiations with countries that it's not yet reached deals with by the end of October. So that will be another major deadline to keep our eye on. Of course, a bulk of the tariffs, they have been in effect since August 7th, but talks with major partners, namely China, but also Mexico, are ongoing with tensions with Russia, India, Brazil, Canada, and Switzerland. So regarding a possibility of will the tariffs ever go down? Will they be reduced? Secretary Bessent actually said that the tariffs will need to melt away like ice cubes will in time. So he said as manufacturing hubs come back to the States, he claimed that this would lead to the correction of the international imbalance. The U.S. has really been honing in on this so-called trade deficit.
Okay.
However, in terms of when that timing of melting away of the ice cubes will be, he said, well, that's hard to predict. However, we do have news that President Trump did sign an executive order that extends the tariff suspensions for Chinese goods by 90 days. This was agreed upon by the two countries in their Sweden summit last month. However, Trump has held off on signing off on it until now.
Yes, as this is all going on, chip giant NVIDIA struck a major deal that would benefit the U.S.
Right, literally put money into the U.S. Treasury's pockets. So chip giants NVIDIA and AMD, they have agreed to pay the U.S. government 15% of their semiconductor sales from China. So that is a major deal.
Okay.
But this is kind of a payoff, you could see it that way, to secure export licenses to China. That's because the U.S., the American government, has previously banned the sale of NVIDIA's chips, specifically the H20 chips, to Beijing, citing security concerns. Although the company did recently announce that that has been reversed.
Okay.
So NVIDIA told the press that they haven't shipped the H20 chips to China for months, but they hope the export control rules would let the U.S. compete in China and also worldwide. So what are they paying specifically? The deal says that NVIDIA will pay 15% of its earnings from these H20 chip sales in China to the U.S. government.
Yes.
AMD also set the same percentage from its MI308 chip revenues. This was reported on by U.S. outlets. Actually, going back to NVIDIA, its chief executive, Jensen Huang, he has been really at the forefront of this U.S.-China negotiations and economic deal. He spent months lobbying both sides for the resumption of chip sales, reportedly having met with Donald Trump last week.
Yes, yes. So that is the latest on that story as well. Thanks for all the top stories, and we'll, of course, check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
And now it's time for our first song break for this Tuesday morning. This is Mariposa by the Peach Tree Rascals.
I can't wait for you to come my way. I've been far away, but I'll keep running just to find a way to you till then. I've been running from it, tired of running from it, scared of feeling something now, stuck and trying to get up out of this hole. I tried to be strong, I tried to make it work, but I've been feeling too numb. Skies are bleeding on me, why'd you leave me lonely? Feeling wetly, stony now, stuck and wonder where I ever went wrong. How could I be strong? I'm fighting for your love. I can't wait for you to come my way. I've been far away, but I'll keep running just to find a way to you till then. I don't see light in your love anymore. There ain't no reason I'm pulling the floor. I don't like feelings and feeling like running for something and feeling so out of control. I know that the feelings are gone. I'm spending so much time alone. I'm hoping you pick up the phone and ring me when you wanna stay overnight. My shoulders right, my baby is all that I want, and I play them all of my favorite songs. That lady is my favorite one. I can't wait for you to come my way. I've been far away, but I'll keep running just to find a way to you till then. Ain't never gonna let you go. Got my heart, NASCAR racing, shining, never fading. He just left you hanging, feeling for your love, all worth it for the waiting. Give you what you need, take you where you want. Can feel it when we're all alone. Know you wanting something more. My heart is like an open door. Just ring me when you wanna go. Oh, wait till you're home. Hold a place till you're coming home. Show you where the garden grows. Just ring me when you wanna go. I can't wait for you to come my way. I've been far away, but I'll keep running just to find a way to you till then.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to read some of your responses to today's text topic and give a shout out to some newer people or people that I haven't really been able to develop a personal relationship. Not quite yet. So I'm going to go with, first of all, a shout out to Weird World Amazes is how I'm going to say, because I can't pronounce your username. I do apologize. So yes, good morning to you as well. Leslie checking in with us saying, the Christmas that my daughter was 4 years old, she asked for, I remember this character, Dora the play house with all the furniture and characters. I got up at 2 a.m. on Black Friday to stand in line at a certain store. The store opened at 4 a.m. to get all the things. I managed to get everything. She played with it for maybe 2 weeks and then lost interest. That was the last year I ever did Black Friday. Since then, only Cyber Monday. By the way, I tried Black Friday once in my entire lifetime, and I never went back because I just couldn't deal with all the other 미국 아줌mas, like, you know, trying to like mow me down to get to that. You know, there are extra deals to be had when you go at like 4, 5, 6 in the morning. I couldn't deal with it because, yeah, I'm a peaceful person. Apparently, some people are not. So other responses, and William says, our San Francisco Giants baseball team had a giveaway of a theme T-shirt featuring a celebrity kitty whose initials are HK. We know, you know which one, the one that says, "Hi." I stood in a line that stretched around the stadium, all because Pam wanted one. By the way, Pam is his wife. That's so sweet that you would stand in a line that long because your wife wanted that. Oh, that is awfully sweet. So I'm going to read more of your messages in just a little bit, but I want to get to Wave Sports. Dancing? Why are we dancing?
I don't know. You didn't read my message.
Oh, but I didn't see it until like later on.
Yeah.
How are you?
No, I thought you were going to read my message.
Okay, it says, definitely don't have a personal relationship with me. Why?
I was trying to break you in the middle of you reading something else. Like if you saw that, you'd be like, bah.
What's wrong with Andrew?
Yeah, well, no. Nobody has an answer for that. Nobody has an answer for that.
So have you ever stood in line to get something like popular or trendy, whether it's like food or an item?
Well, how could I say? So you know how you were talking about Black Friday, or unless it was, I'm not sure who brought it up.
Leslie.
In Canada, we have Boxing Day shopping, right? So
the 26th.
The 26th, but
of December.
It's 26th, and usually where I'm from, it's the 27th.
Oh,
so
okay.
they give the people, Boxing Day is the 26th.
Okay.
But they give people that day off, and then, they're back to work on the 27th. So I did line up outside. I think this store is no longer it. It used to be called Future Shop. Now it's something Best blah, blah, blah. They incorporated or bought them or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I was working over the Christmas holidays at a paper mill, which was like my summer and winter break job.
Sure.
And I worked Boxing Day. And we got off at 6 a.m. So one of the other guys was like, hey, let's jump in my car. We'll go down and just see if we can get anything. And we got there. The store didn't open until 7:30. We got there, and the lineup was probably 20 people long. And I got a massive 27-inch TV.
Massive 27-inch TV?
But it was the old style, not a flat screen. It was like the one, like actually, like I was like, how are we fitting this into your like 2-door car? Kind of like.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So
back in the day,
tickets for an event maybe. Like here in Busan, I used to stand in line for the Lotte Giants.
Yeah.
Before the whole online ticketing thing was an actual thing.
So you have stood in line, yeah.
Yeah, but not for like not for any like products or things like that.
I get you.
But yeah, I don't know. Would I? Yeah, maybe if it was something for my kids. I don't really care about anything for myself. Yeah,
maybe.
Exactly.
Yes. All right, let's get into some Wave Sports. What do you have for us?
Well, yeah, so, last week we were here and we were wondering if, we kind of knew, but it wasn't announced that Son Heung-min was going to sign with LAFC. And that's when you had, UGO on as well for a special interview, which was great. I tuned in for that. But then, it was maybe we were off the air for a few hours and then it was officially announced and everything. But then there was questions. Is he going to have his work visa in time? Is he going to be, game ready? When's he going to play? Well, he did make his much anticipated MLS Major League Soccer debut on Saturday, LA time for LAFC or the US time, I'm sorry, against the Chicago Fire in Chicago. He got subbed in the second half. At the time it was 1-1. Chicago went up 2-1.
That's right. I watched.
And then, this is where, he came into play. So it was just over 30 minutes on the pitch for, the South Korean. But within 20 minutes of his introduction, he made, a mark on the game, if you will. He was making some good runs. He had some pace. And it looked like the link-up play was there, and that's exactly what happened here. He got in behind, was taken down just inside the penalty box.
Yes.
And there was, the defender on the other team. I was watching this game live, and the defender on the other team, no way. And then him and Sonny actually almost got into it. It was a pretty heated moment. The ref went to the monitor, awarded the penalty.
Yes.
And then LFC, pumped it home and it made it 2-2. And then right at the end, he had a chance. It was in, I guess it was the 90th minute. And I want to say, I don't know, maybe a few more training sessions.
Yeah. They
would have been able to read that pass a little bit better.
Yes.
It might have made things a little easier for him. Also, his timing, I guess, it's to be expected. It's not perfect.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who were, wondering, like, how is he going to look? At the end of that game, I'm not trying to throw any shade at Sonny here or anything.
Right.
But he looked like he got hit by a Mack truck. He was toast.
Yes.
But that's to be maybe expected over, a lot of traveling, a lot of interviews. He had a busy week. So, and then also traveling from LA to Chicago.
Which is like, you got to get used to it.
It's a big difference compared to...
The U.S. is big.
Compared to the Premier League. So it just wasn't... his performance that, caught the attention. The supporters of... LAFC and Chicago. And he said this in his press conference afterwards. He said, I'm not used to the other fans cheering for me.
They usually boo him.
Give me a warm welcome. So it was really nice. And, he said that, the fans seem to be celebrating, enjoying football together.
Yes.
And he said he has a lot more to give. And we're going to get to a clip here. This is from Sportsmug on NoTube. And him talking about how he felt after his first game.
This was exciting time for a whole week. Joining LAFC was huge. That was only one thing that I want to do. And today, being on the pitch, I think it was fantastic. Obviously, with the results, I'm a little bit disappointed because we should get 3 points here. But generally, I think I'm very, very happy and excited. So obviously, I had a lot of just maybe two, 3 sessions with the boys, but still we understood quite well. So I'm just looking forward to it. So obviously, it was my first game. I enjoyed it. I'm very happy. So I'm sure that I can make better memories than today coming the weeks.
And like, it wasn't in this presser, but I remember in one of his earlier press conferences, he's like, what do I call it? Do I call it soccer, football? Well,
it was really funny that one of his first press conferences, and was it the Congresswoman or the
councilwoman?
The councilwoman. Sorry,
that was such a faux pas.
And it was like, I hope you can help us win the World Cup here.
And then he was looking at her like, everybody was looking at her like, what are you talking about?
And it's, I want to say that this happens. I don't want to say always with Americans, but there are so many world stars that play within your game or within the games, whether it be baseball, basketball, hockey.
It's true, yeah.
It was funny when the what was it there? The hockey was going on in February where it was Canada, the US, and there's people like, why is he playing for Canada? He plays in America. I was like, well, no, he plays for an American team. It doesn't mean he's American. At the Four Nations, that's what I knew it would come to me. So yeah, I think this was a good start for Sonny. I think a good week of training.
Yes.
With the boys, as he says, it's gonna just get that much better, and then they're gonna try to hopefully make that push towards another MLS Cup run. And I think he's also super excited for the massive Korean community in Los Angeles.
That's right.
And it's like he's at home. He's not far from a good barbecue.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, right?
Exactly.
All right. So there was also a big game in England on Sunday night.
Yeah, so it was the Community Shield. So what this is the winner of the Premier League versus the winner of the FA Cup. And if anyone can remember, Liverpool won the Premier League.
We remember.
Yeah, it's hard to forget. But Crystal Palace was the winner of the FA Cup of that shock win over Manchester City back in late May, early June, I guess it would have been. But on this night, it looked like Liverpool were going to walk all over them after new signing Hugo Ekitike got on the board after just the 4th minute. And as a Liverpool fan, I was like, dust this one off, let's go. And then Crystal Palace said, hold my drink, and came back and tied it up. It ended up, Liverpool went ahead again. They tied it up again. It went into, there's no extra time in this because essentially it is a preseason game.
Right.
They don't want to give another 30 minutes when guys are already struggling. And you could see they were struggling at the end of this. It went to penalties, and Dean Henderson.
Yes.
The goalie for Crystal Palace, he's known for his shootouts. He's similar to Jordan Pickford for England, who has, the cheat sheet on his water bottle.
Right.
And you could see him going over to it before every shot, looking at it. And the guy did the right thing because Crystal Palace pulls it off, and they win their first, or actually not their first trophy, their second trophy in whatever 100 years or what it was in their history.
Yes.
But their second in just a matter of months. But Liverpool, they came out and said, "Listen, we weren't at our best today, but hopefully we can take the positives." Crystal Palace on the other side are just like, hey, let's keep this rolling. We're letting people know that we're not going to be pushovers this season.
Yes.
They still got a good core. They might lose one or two players in the transfer market, but we'll see how that goes.
Yes. Moving things back to this side of the pond, and our waivers are already waggling about, the Lotte Giants making an unexpected move of their own.
Yeah, this is one that's a bit out of left field, no pun intended. All right, so the Lotte Giants have signed former MLB right-hander Vince Velasquez for the remainder of the 2025 KBO season. Now, the 33-year-old will make $330,000, a notable increase over what he would have earned in the Guardians, that's the Cleveland Guardians minor league system.
Okay.
Now, Velasquez, who missed the entire 2024 season due to elbow surgery, impressed him to come back in AAA with the Columbus Clippers, posting his ERA was all right, but it's hopefully that it's his experience that I think the Lotte Giants are looking for. He's a bit of a veteran, somebody, a cool head in the clubhouse and whatnot.
But who do they release?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
If somebody comes in, somebody's got to go.
Yeah.
That's like earlier this season when Charlie Barnes got released, but that was of an injury. He was going to be out for 2 to 3 months.
Right.
That's a long time.
Right.
So they released him and brought in Alacamboa. Now, to make this space, they had to release left-hander Tucker Davidson, who had decent run on the go. 10-5 on the season. He had an ERA of 3.65 in 22 starts this season. Now, what the Giants are banking on here is that Velasquez's MLB experience and versatile 4-pitch mix is going to be what they're going to need to not just make the end of this season count, but push into the playoffs and then have a significant, postseason, if you will, immediate, key role.
Okay.
Down the stretch, but also into the postseason.
And also, We have a question for you.
Sure.
It's related to sports.
I love it.
Okay, so Tejin says, in America, the United States of America, okay, 야구, 농구, 미식, 축구, meaning baseball, basketball, and American football,
Yes.
are really popular, which is true. They're
Yes.
extremely popular. Why hasn't soccer or football? 왜 축구는 좀 부족한? 왜 그럴까요? Like, why hasn't it really taken off?
Well, I think also we could throw hockey in there. They're the top four, the ones that were mentioned.
Yes.
I would say for soccer and the MLS, because the MLS has been around for
A while.
since the early 90s, I guess
Yes.
it was, before USA 94. But I feel that with soccer in the US, it's a cultural thing too.
Yes.
And it wasn't there, especially when you try to take a soccer team or football team into middle America, middle of nowhere, where there's just no passion for it. I think that has changed now.
Yes.
And if you go around the U.S. in any MLS stadium, or also in the women's league, stadiums are sold out. It's massive. It's one of the most popular sports across the country because it's one of the cheapest to play as well.
Yes.
And that's around the world. So I would say that in the beginning, it was just also, I don't think they did a good job of pushing it out there very well. But it's something that wasn't established like the NFL, the NHL, the
It's
MLB.
a newer
Yeah,
league.
exactly.
Yes.
But it was also, they also did things a bit differently than in the rest of the world, where there's no relegation.
Yes.
There's no promotion. Which it's a big difference compared to European football, if
Yes.
you will.
Yes.
You mean you can lose every game and you stay in the league? For Europeans, it's really, really hard to fathom.
It's to the death.
Exactly.
Towards the end, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. So with that, I would just say, they're doing better now. Now, back to the Lotte thing here.
Yes.
This is a big surprise for a lot of people, because he pitched on Wednesday.
Yes.
Won. Got his 10th win.
And then was
Following the game, he was
released.
It was a big surprise, especially 10 wins. But it was his June and July record that really made the difference here, because June he had one of the worst records in the league. And he also wasn't going very deep. 5 innings, 6 innings, not making it to the 7th and 8th innings, and then just leaving it to the closer.
I see.
So that'll be one way to do it. But Lotte has lost 3 in a row since losing him.
So
I'm not saying curse, but
Maybe
maybe you did. I heard you say it. But the team is away to Daejeon midweek here to take on the second place Eagles to try to get back on track. They are back in town this weekend, which the weather's looking decent for, to take on, Gyeongsang Ravels, the Samsung Lions. So check it out.
Forward to the next batch of games. And thank you, Andrew, for coming in
Check
for
it
Wave Sports.
All right.
Bye, Andrew.
Bye-bye.
Well, it's time to get to our final song of hour number 1. This is Sea of Love by Fly to the Sky. I'll be back at 8.
차가운 바람도 불고 있어 널 기다리는 내 삶의 끝본 것만 같아 어떡해 며칠이면 년 같은데 넌 아무렇지 않는지 한 번이라도 너를 보여주겠니 몰랐어
Time for the Water Activities Safety Quiz Show with me, Mike.
And me, Jessie.
Now here is the question. On safely enjoying water activities, listen carefully and guess the right answer.
Okay.
From the following water safety measures, guess which one is correct. Number 1, always warm up before swimming or going in the water. Number 2, enter the water slowly and wear a life jacket. Number 3, never go beyond the designated swimming area. Number 4, call 119 or a lifeguard on duty if you witness drowning.
뭐지? 1번도 맞고 2번도 맞는 것 같은데.
Time is running out.
The answer is all of the above.
That is correct. All of these options are important in order to safely enjoy water activities.
If you keep them in mind, you're bound to have a great and safe summer.
Stay with BEFM this summer for a responsible beach season.
Welcome to Busan. Let me show you around. Here you can find the world's largest musical in-ground fountain and the world's only UN memorial cemetery. Stroll along the coast and explore the largest mountain fortress in Korea. As well as all this, there are so many tourist attractions, beautiful exhibitions, vibrant culture, convenient facilities, and delicious foods unique to Busan. With all the beauty and charm of the amazing city of Busan, you'll find yourself right at home in this ever-changing tourism paradise. So stay with us a while. Busan, your #1 tourist destination. Your home, away from home. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, Busan 영어 방송.
The time is now 8 o'clock. It's now 8 o'clock. This is hour number 2 of Morning Wave in Busan. This is Spotlight News. President to pardon Joguk for Liberation Day. Former minor party leader Joguk will be pardoned and reinstated for Liberation Day under President Lee Jae-myung's first pardons, said the Justice Ministry yesterday. Among the 830,000 who will be granted pardons are former Democratic Party or DP lawmakers Yoon Mi-hyang, Choi Kang-wook, and Joguk's wife, Chung Kyung-sim, along with former opposition party lawmakers and business leaders. The presidential office said that the pardons seek to unify the nation and breathe new life into the people's livelihoods, saying that the president agreed with the Justice Ministry's recommendation list. Fair Trade Commission raided in Kim Gun-hee investigation. The Minjung-gi special counsel team yesterday raided the state antitrust regulator as part of the corruption allegations involving former First Lady's butler. The special counsel notified the press that it has raided the Fair Trade Commission or FTC office in Sejong to receive relevant documents from the authorities in connection to the investment that Kim Ye-sung, sometimes called the former First Lady's butler, received. The special counsel team is looking into possible links between the investments and the FTC's measures against one of the companies, HS Hyosung, that provided the funds. In the meantime, the Seoul Central District Court is due to hold a hearing on the arrest warrant request for Kim Gun-hee later today. Lawmaker Lee Chun-suk banned from leaving the country. The Seoul Metropolitan Police yesterday raided the office of lawmaker Lee Chun-suk and banned him from leaving the country as it has opened investigation into his borrowed name stock trading allegations. The police secured the personal computers and documents owned by the lawmaker and his aide. The police previously raided his Iksan home and local office over the weekend. He has left the Democratic Party after photos of him trading stocks under its aide's name went public. The police plan on summoning Yi and the aide for questioning in the near future. Major hospitals open applications for trainee doctors. Major teaching hospitals in the country have opened the application process for trainee doctors for the second half of the year. According to those in the medical field, major hospitals, including Seoul National University Hospital, have posted recruitments for interns and residents to begin training starting September 1st. A total of 13,000 spots need to be filled by the hospitals in total. The move comes after the government took measures to ensure continued training by the doctors who left the workplace in protest of the previous administration's medical school quota expansion. Trump deploys National Guard to Washington, D.C. U.S. President Donald Trump said he is deploying the National Guard troops to the nation's capital and taking control of the city's police force in an attempt to crack down on crime and homelessness. Trump declared a public safety emergency on Monday local time, calling the situation in D.C. one of complete and total lawlessness. The city's mayor, Muriel Bowser, refuted the claims with statistics showing that violent crime in the city last year was at a 30-year low. This was Spotlight News. It's time for Wagga Wagga. We have Haley back in the studio.
Hello, hello.
All right, let's dive into our first story. This is a court ruling regarding a traffic accident where only 2 out of 3 drivers involved in the crash were found guilty. So we need the details first.
Right. So this is a message about driving safety and traffic safety. So 3 drivers faced manslaughter charges under the Traffic Accidents Act from an accident that happened in Cheongju 4 years ago.
Yes.
Only 2, however, were found guilty, sentenced to 5 million won fines each, and the 3rd driver was found not guilty. So here's what happened. This was a very extensive accident. It happened on February 27, 2021, early morning, a little past 6 a.m., but this is in the middle of the winter, so 6 a.m., it's still dark. Keep that in mind. So 3 drivers, they each collided into a cargo truck at different times, ultimately resulting in the death of the cargo truck driver.
Yes.
But the cargo truck was involved in a separate accident prior to all of this, so it was stopped in the middle of the road with the driver who wound up being the victim outside the car. This is the first important traffic safety message. When there is an accident, if you cannot pull the car over to the shoulder, the driver, everybody in the car needs to exit the car as quickly as possible and get out of the way of the traffic.
Okay.
So what happened is that now the first vehicle crashed into the cargo truck. This apparently led the cargo truck to kind of tilt over and fall on top of that driver who was outside the truck.
Okay.
4 minutes following this, the 2 other drivers each crashed into the cargo truck in separate incidents.
Okay, so let's go back to the original premise. Why were only the first 2 drivers found guilty?
So timing and how these 2 are driving, they all played a key factor in the ruling. So that was a failure to abide by the duty to be cautious. 주의 의무 태만. So basically, the duty to drive carefully. Because the first driver, it turns out, was what we colloquially say riding on the tail of the car in front of him. So he was driving very close to the car in front of him, just about 37 meters. And when you're going on an expressway, that is not a long enough distance.
Okay.
So when the car in front of the first driver changed lanes, this is when he for the first time saw that there was a cargo truck stopped in the road in front of him. Because what happens when you're riding too close to the car in front of you, that car obstructs your vision.
Yes.
Right. So That's how the first accident happened. Also, the second driver did not look closely in front of him despite the cargo truck having had both the headlights and the hazards on.
So what set the third driver apart?
It seems that this was about timing. The judge who ruled on the case said that based on the dashboard camera footage, the victim was already likely dead when the final driver crashed into him.
Yes.
So it is hard to say when the third driver crashing into the scene adding to the accident would have caused the victim's death beyond reasonable doubt. So again, the important message that we all should take is if accidents or if your car stops, please get out of the way of the traffic and always look closely in front of you. Keep a safe distance between you and the car in front of you.
Yes, very important to keep in mind. All right, up next, this is a trend in retail and the restaurant industry. Local collaborations.
Right. So one major burger franchise in South Korea, the Golden Arches, they've been running collaborative projects with local cities or counties every year for quite a long time, actually, using the city's or county's local specialty ingredients and creating menus and burgers that reflect or use these ingredients.
Yes.
So according to the corporation yesterday, here's how each municipality, how much they secured in brand value. So Changyeong was at the top. Changyeong County at 42.5 billion won. Jindo County, 7.1 billion won. Jinju, 5.4 billion. And finally, Posong, 1.7 billion won in the city's brand value. So this is what some Korean outlets have dubbed the loconomy or the local economy, as they've saying. For Changyeong, which showed, again, the highest results, it first directly made some 1.5 billion won in profits by selling their garlic to the corporation McDonald's Korea. As a result, the local farms saw a 390 million won in additional profits. And then on top of this, they also have had the added benefit of advertisement and promotional effects because, again, this is a nationwide campaign by one of the largest food franchises. And then on top of that, because they were able to sell more of these ingredients and produce, they spent less money on discarding them at the end of the season.
I see.
For instance, Jindo saved about 460 million won in not having to discard their leeks tepa last year.
Interesting. So this is mutually beneficial for the corporations.
Right, absolutely. So because it goes in line with their ESG values and goals. So the country's largest coffee franchise, the Star something, they started developing local food menus back in 2016. And then starting in 2022, they work with the SME and Startups Ministry along with a cooperative of cafe owners across the country to develop drinks using such local ingredients. Not only that, they distribute the recipes to small cafes nationwide so they can sell them and profit off of them. Again, ESG. So it's all about mutual coexistence. So the SMEs Ministry, they've been running a local creators fostering project to support these small businesses. But here's the thing. What really sets small businesses versus these large corporations apart. But because these large corporations have these extensive systems, they can keep prices lower. So in terms of when it comes to price competitiveness, there are still gaps. So there are voices that call for further support in small businesses being able to keep costs down.
Yes. And, we're going to stay on the whole, the burger thread for the next story and go to Japan, where we are seeing bags upon bags of uneaten burgers getting thrown away. What is going on?
Left in the middle of the store, left in the street. So McDonald's Japan, they're seeing bags of unopened burgers and meals being left in front of the stores and on the streets. So this is specifically the Happy Meal, which is the kids' meal, and they come with toys.
Yes.
That's the part. And right now they're running a promotion where the toys are Pokemon cards. With the purchase of the meal. So this started on August 8th. We're a few days in. It has been tremendously popular due to the popularity of the characters and cards being a collector's item.
Yes.
Not just for children, but definitely for adults as well. It seems that the adults are the problem. They're causing such problems.
They're the culprits or no?
Well, yeah, because kids, they're only going to buy one meal, mostly one meal, and then, be happy or unhappy with the card and maybe pester the parents. But the adults, unfortunately, with their means, they buy everything they can. So McDonald's Japan has a 5-meal limit per person. However, one branch apparently sold out everything by 1 p.m. Netizens shared their experiences. Some say they saw children crying in front of the store because, they went after school, but then everything was sold out.
Okay.
So it is suspected that majority of these bulk buyers are resellers. Yes, people who buy the cards and sell them at a scaled up price. This has been a problem. A similar promotion back in May with another popular animation character. Back then, there were photos shared on social media of employees throwing away large quantities, bags and boxes of untouched food, which food waste is such a big issue. I mean, why don't you donate this?
I don't know.
I mean, not even, to institutions or even take it to your workplace.
Yes.
If our coworker were to bring in burgers,
Just
we'd
a franchise,
be happy.
they can't take it back after it's been sold.
They cannot. It's a health sanitation issue. So just on the part of the consumer, fine, do what you will with the cards, but be a little bit more responsible is my personal opinion. So, and then in terms of the reselling. According to the foreign press outlets, the toys back then sold for $28 for one toy, $80 for the whole set. So McDonald's Japan back in May, they apologized for having to wrap up the event earlier than anticipated because of such a huge demand. However, they made no comments regarding the resale issue or the food waste issue, which again, yes, that falls upon the consumers.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just
still an issue.
It's not a great thing. It's not great for the brand either.
Right. All right, for our final story, we're going to go to the U.S. where the first Korean-American woman is being commemorated on a quarter for real.
So, a quarter is the 25-cent coin. It's one of the most widely circulated coins. So U.S. Mint, which mints currency, they create and distribute commemorative coins every year. So there are state coins, there are different individuals. And it announced that the 2025 American Women's Quarters will celebrate Stacey Park Milburn. So she's a visionary disability justice activist. So this American Women's Quarters, it honors a diverse group of notable American women who made significant contributions to a variety of social issues, including suffrage, which is women's voting rights, civil rights abolition, government, humanities, so on and so forth. And they do try to cover a diverse array of women, whether that be ethnic, racial, geographically. The program since 2022, it has issued 5 coins every year celebrating achievements of women pioneers.
What a great idea. Can you tell us more about who she was and what her life was like?
Right. So Stacey Park Milburn, she was born in 1987 to her father, who's a U.S. serviceman who was stationed in Korea, and her mother, Jean Milburn. She was diagnosed at birth with a degenerative muscle disease. So she grew up hearing her parents' encouragement, though, that she is not different from any other kids. But then in the 4th grade, she suffered this injury from a fall. And then this is when she really recognized that there are physical differences in between her and others and able-bodied people. So she started blogging because she was born in 87. So it's definitely of that generation about the inconveniences and injustices she experienced as someone who has a disability. And she pointed out the where things can improve. Her writing really resonated a lot with other people, and she gained recognition as a disability advocate. And then at the very young age of 20, in 2007, she played a key role in persuading the North Carolina state government to include disability history in the public high school curriculum. As a 20-year-old.
Wow.
She literally just graduated from high school. And then in 2014, then Obama administration appointed her to the President's Committee for People with Intellectual Disabilities. She battled cancer in 2020 during the COVID pandemic. But even then, she organized the distribution of masks and other essential supplies for vulnerable communities. She did die on May 19th of that year on her 33rd birthday.
So young.
So young, but such a meaningful life. She definitely dedicated her life to the issues that she was concerned about. By the way, she is the first Korean American individual to be minted on a U.S. coin. And U.S. Mint says that Stacey Park Milburn was a leader, a visionary, a problem solver, and a fierce, compassionate activist for social and disability justice.
What a legend, a legacy that she left behind at such a young age. Well, thank you for going over all the Woggly stories, and we'll be sure to check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great day.
All right, everybody, it's now back to your updated traffic and weather. It's now 8:17 and here's what's happening on the roads. For Sapa, on Chungnyeol-daero, it is congested from Minam to Daeseong intersection. On Chungjang-daero, there is traffic from pier number 4 to pier number 3. It looks backed up on Beonyeonglo from the Taeyeon ramp to Hwanghan Tunnel. And also looking slow on Hwangryong-daero from Daenam Underpass to Hwangryong Tunnel. And it is currently 23 degrees Celsius. It's raining here in Busan. It's going to go up to just 28. Across the nation, rain across the southern regions and cloudy in other parts as well. The daytime high will go up to 33 degrees in some areas today. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for your special interview. So let me ask you a question, wavers out there. Are you an AI chatbot user? Have you used AI-powered tools? Have they reshaped your daily lives? So with technology evolving at an unprecedented pace, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman recently announced the release of ChatGPT, or GPT-5. And so this latest generation of the company's language model promises a smarter, faster, and more useful understanding of context than ever before. So he even said that the fifth version of this has, in quotes, PhD level abilities. So for today, we're going to explore some of ChatGPT 5's key features and beyond. We want to share practical ways to make the most of rapidly advancing AI technology. So joining us once again is Professor Daryl Lim, Associate Dean for Research and Innovation and Founding Director of the Intellectual Property Law and Innovation Initiative at Penn State University at Dickinson Law. So let's say hi first. Hi, welcome back to the program, Professor.
Hi, well, it's great to be back. Thanks for having me back, and hello to your waivers.
Yes, thank you. So with the release of the ChatGPT 5, what are some of the big improvements or some new features that the layperson, the user, should know?
Well, let me first say that I'm very excited to be back on the show, not just because of this development, but because South Korea is in fact one of the world's fastest adopters of AI technology, and Korea is reportedly the highest number of paid ChatGPT users outside of the US.
Yes.
And OpenAI has recently opened an office in Seoul to work more closely with Korean partners. So this actually makes our conversation about ChatGPT 5 especially timely. When you talk about the biggest improvements, I think you had nailed it on the head with the description of Mr. Altman's description of how ChatGPT 5 is like a doctoral student. So if you think about ChatGPT 3, a bright high school student full of promise, but with gaps in depth and consistency. And then ChatGPT 4, you think of that as a college student, able to tackle more complex tasks, but sometimes losing track when the projects become really intricate.
Yes.
And GPT-5 can now sustain long multi-stage research. It can synthesize huge amounts of information, can produce original insights. And the reason why it can do that is because it has a vastly larger, what they call a context window, which allows it to keep track of longer conversations, documents, without forgetting the earlier details. So that's a game changer in many ways because it can now deal with complex legal drafting, multi-year data, and it can customize personas. So you can talk to it and it can act like a formal analyst in one situation. It can act like a creative collaborator in another.
Yes.
And for Korea, it means that you could have better bilingual customer service. It means that you could have higher level AI translations for your K-pop and K-drama exports. It could also mean deeper integration into super app platforms like Kakao. So lots of possibilities there.
Yes, yes. So in terms of GPT-5, has it improved in terms of reducing errors or what's known as, I guess, hallucinations compared to earlier versions?
Right. So for the benefit of your listeners who may not be as in tune with the term hallucinations, it's when AI makes things up. And that's been a real trust issue in terms of being able to adopt generative AI technology like ChatGPT.
Yes.
Well, OpenAI says that GPT-5 cuts errors by about 80% compared to GPT-3 and about 45% compared to GPT-4. And it does this by combining a better curated data training set with more refined methods. And so it goes through a more rigorous alignment process.
Yes.
That's some technical terms, but at the end of the day, what it means is that they're striving to offer the public a more trustworthy product so that what the data comes back to you is reliable and it's something that you can quote.
Yes, yes. So among the many tools that people use, ChatGPT is one of the most popular since generative AI is so deeply integrated into everyday life, it seems these days, Professor. It's important to kind of understand the tools more accurately. So could you explain the difference, first of all? We talk about GPT, and then there's ChatGPT. So can you explain what they are exactly and maybe the differences?
Sure. The simplest way is to think about GPT as the engine.
Yes.
And ChatGPT as the car in which you put that engine. So GPT, we use that word a lot, but what does it actually mean? It stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It's a mouthful, so not surprising. People say GPT. But it's a general purpose model. It can be used in many different contexts, from chatbots to translation tools to coding assistants. And then ChatGPT is one specific application. It's fine-tuned for conversation. You use it on your phone. You use it on your computer. And it has got safety measures and an interface that makes it easy for the public to use.
Yes.
And the distinction matters because when you go into the laws and the regulations, you talk about licensing, you talk about responsibility, applies differently to GPT compared to a specific application like ChatGPT.
I see.
And to the underlying model and to the end user applications as well. So it's a great question because it has a significant impact legally.
Yes, yes. Thanks for explaining so thoroughly the differences between GPT and ChatGPT. So are there challenges or potential downsides users should be aware of when using these kind of rapidly advancing, changing AI technologies?
Yes, so the broad idea here is we have a more powerful tool. And whatever we could do imperfectly for good or nefarious means, we can do even better now. And these are actually things that you have read about, your listeners have probably read about since the beginning of ChatGPT. Things like entity exploitation, you have AI deepfakes, you have voice clones. Those are going to be even more of an issue. Fabricated political speeches as well, or even fake Korean drama or K-pop idols sending messages. Scams, I think it would be a concern. And then you have the issue of job displacement because ChatGPT does what humans can do even better, especially in roles that involve repetitive, routine tasks. But even with now ChatGPT 5 being able to replicate convincingly what a doctoral student might replace knowledge workers, including software developers and even CEOs within the next decade. So when you think about the trajectory of the development of generative AI, it's imperative, I think, on every government to think about retraining, equipping their workforce so that they are able to integrate these tools effectively. And then finally, I would say there's the ethical implications of it. It's going to create more economic inequality.
Yes.
It could invade our privacies. And it will also open us to cyber attacks. So the national security dimension is very real as well.
Yes, yes. Well, as we look ahead, Professor, what do you think are the biggest hopes and also concerns about the future of AI?
So what you see with AI is that it has the potential to expand human agency, can help us to deal with the most pressing issues of our time, like climate change. It can give us the opportunity for personalized education. Every student could now have a personal tutor on demand and personalized, customized to their needs.
Yes.
And it could also be a tool to share creativity across borders. So these are some hopes. And Korea actually is a shining beacon in that because you've got a high literacy rate, you've got huge cultural influence, and it really makes Korea a perfect place to pioneer responsible use of AI. In fact, I'll be talking about that next week in Korea. Seoul National University is organizing an AI conference called SecCon, and I'll be talking about how the unique good governance and infrastructure that lets this innovation move at scale, both in Korea, the US, and worldwide.
Well, thank you so much for schooling us once again. And people saying like, oh, they didn't even know the difference. I didn't know the differences between GPT and ChatGPT, and that we have a better understanding of this as we use this in our daily lives. So thank you so much for coming on air with us, Professor. And of course, we hope to see you soon, whether it's on air or in person. So thank you, Professor.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Everybody, this was Professor Daryl Lim. We talked about the unveiling of GPT-5. So, we have to be in the know and be more knowledgeable to be able to use these AI tools in our daily lives. I hope this was helpful for you. We're now ready for our next song. This is 나만의 그대 모습 by 서준서, a song request from Taejin. So enjoy. We'll be back in a moment.
그대와 함께 나누던 우리의 사랑 모두 다 사라지고 시간이 흘러갔어도 외로운 나의 마음을 보이긴 싫어 어두운 거리에 홀로 선 느낌 사라져버린 나만의 그대 모습 안개 속에 나를 쥔 희미한 너의 모습도 이 밤 우리 밤이 지나면 차가운 너의 미소도 이 밤이 지나면 이제는 그댈 잊고 싶어 안개 속에 가려진 미미한 모습도 시간이 흐르면 이제는 잊고 싶어 이 밤이 지나면 차가운 너의 미소도
It is time for Simply Sustainable. We have Bonnie here. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
How are you?
Great. I
Yes,
love this weather.
I do too, because it's just like, it's bearable now.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like I'm in a movie, like a romantic movie.
And it's like
driving
misty.
to work. Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Nice
if there's
and
fog out there, please be careful
Yes,
if you're
of course.
driving. But it's so like, I get it though. I feel you.
Don't daydream
Yes.
like me.
Yes. Hey, before we get into our main
Yeah.
topic today, our text topic. Have you ever stood in line for some yummy food or something that you really wanted? Like standing in line, like an actual line, not a virtual line.
Oh. For
Have
a
you ever-
long time?
Yeah, whether it's for like concert tickets or some sort of experience, or you really wanted that it food, or are you just not a stand in line kind of gal?
No, I'm not a standing in line. I can't be patient like that. I would, because my theory is at one point the lines will die down. And so I'll get it after it trends or whatever it is. And I just don't believe like some things, and I believe this with really expensive food too. No food is it that worth it? I can't imagine something being that worth it to wait for hours. Or I've seen people waiting in really hot weather.
Yes.
Like we're in summer, and I've seen people waiting in lines with umbrellas outside, and I just shake my head when I pass those
I
lines.
mean, respect to all of you who do
good
it.
for you.
but
Maybe
just not
share with
for
me
us.
after you get it, but I won't be there physically, no.
All right, thanks for sharing. So what are we talking about today?
Okay, today I'm really excited because
what's
I
our
am
topic?
talking about making your own milk.
And we're not talking about lactating
Not
mothers.
cow's milk, because
Yes.
obviously I'm not telling you to go out and get a cow and milk it. Although if that's where you want to be, then go for it. You know, all the more power to you. But for me, for most people, that's not possible. So I'm going to talk about making your own soy milk or oat milk or plant-based milks.
Okay.
Because I've gotten on this new train, and I'm going to share with you how easy this is. But this is something that I struggled with for a long time, because I use a lot of oat milk and soy milk at home, and I would go through about 2 to 3 cartons a month at the very least.
Yes.
And the majority of that container is cardboard. But
Right.
it does have a plastic lining on the
Sure,
inside,
sure.
of course, because it's holding liquid. But also the very top of it is a hard plastic as well. So this item is actually really hard to properly recycle.
Yes.
And I know most people might just throw this in the paper recycling, but if you are doing this, it is not getting recycled. Okay, so to recycle a soy milk carton properly, you must cut out the hard plastic portion at the very top and cut it down and make sure it is completely cleaned and completely dried, and then you can lay it flat in the paper recycling.
Okay.
So this is the proper way to do it, and if you're not doing it this way, the whole carton is not getting recycled. So in knowing this, I really tried to, make sure I properly recycled my cartons, but it was really hard for me to do. And, every area in Busan might have different rules on the recycling, but majority-wise, because anything that is mixed materials. So I've said this before, if you have something that is part foil and part paper or part plastic and part paper, those things have to be separated before they go to the recycling. And so if you're not doing that, then the whole item is not getting recycled.
Got it.
Or if it's a little bit wet or has residue, anything like that. So I made a commitment last Plastic Free July. So not this past July, this last Plastic Free July, because that was kind of the last thing that I was buying and purchasing that was still had plastic in it, and I wanted to cut that down. So it was my commitment last Plastic Free July to stop with the containers. So I was like, I'm going to make my own oat milk at home. It looks so easy because I was seeing these videos online and you just kind of blended the oats with the water and then you just strain it out and then you have oat milk. But my whole concern was, the whole straining part. Then you have the leftover oats. And I was like, what am I going to do with that? I'm really big on food waste.
Okay.
So I was like, I have to make something with that every single week. So I was overwhelmed. And the cheesecloth, having to clean it all the time. So I didn't do it. So a whole year later, the guilt was weighing in on me. And then this magic machine came about. My cousin actually introduced it to me, and she's not environmental whatsoever, but she said it was kind of trending that everybody was putting up these videos of making their own milks at home and how easy and wonderful it tasted. So she gave me a little taste of hers, and it was so delicious, and she said it was really easy. So I, of course, wanting to not contribute to new products, I found this on a resale site. So if you're watching on YouTube, I brought my machine. Look how cute it is. It's like a cute mint color for everybody. But this machine,
that's all you need?
That's all you need. And it's super easy to make, super easy to use. So in here, all you have to do is put in, and just the cost wise, it's about, I found this one on a resale site for $70,000, but I actually saw this at the big wholesale place around here that you can buy things for $80,000 to $90,000 won.
Yes, and by the way, not an ad. Not an ad. We're not advertising this particular brand. Right.
Just saying, this is what it looks like.
That's what it looks like.
And this is how light it is. Right. So you can go out and buy one of these, and if you think about how much one carton in the store costs, this can pay you back within a year for sure, depending on how much milk that you actually make. But found this, and the process is so easy. You can, soak the beans beforehand or whatever you're using, and then this takes 20 minutes.
20 minutes, really?
20 minutes. So you press one button, and then it, makes some noise, and 20 minutes later, you have fresh soy milk, oat milk, whatever nut milk that you want to make. And the best part about this that I really, really love is that there is no byproduct waste, because all the other milk advertisements that I've seen, you have to strain whatever it is that you blended. But with this one, it blends everything so finely that you can just drink it as it is. So dependent on your preference of how you like your milk. If you want it a little bit more rich and creamy, then you can leave all the byproduct in there. Or if you want it to be more light and not have all this stuff, then you can kind of strain it out with a strainer if you like. So
I'm laughing, or I'm smiling to myself, as our producer, she wrote a message. It's so much better than the 맷돌 같다. Because she mentioned often, remember? She was saying, she remembers her grandmother having the literal 맷돌, to, make soybean or tofu and stuff like that, right?
Much easier and much lighter. But I was joking.
No physical work involved.
I was joking. If I had room in my apartment to have one of those, I would have one in my house.
A 맷돌? I can't imagine.
At the Shijangs when they have they're making
bean curd, right?
Yes, I'm so jealous all the time. That's so cool. I want one of those.
The aroma.
Yeah,
it's so it's so good,
and it looks so fun to just be turning, and maybe get a little workout too. I would love it.
The 맷돌.
Yes, but this is the modern day society version.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Just one press of a button. No heavy lifting or turning. So the process, like I said, is so simple, and the machine actually can make more things than just nut milk. So it can make ginger tea, with fresh ginger. It can make juk. If you are sick at home,
porridge or congee, really?
Yeah, so you can just put all the ingredients in, and again, like I said, just a very short time later,
yes,
you have this great meal that you can have. So different kinds of things that you can make. I actually use like the black soybeans, and then I actually put in some almonds and cashews also, so you can add in all these extra little bits in there. So you can make it to however you like it. And also, if you're like me and you like a little bit of sweetness to your milk, you can add your own, maple syrup, sugar, whatever sweetener you like, or a little pinch of salt. So it's up to you.
Custom made.
Yes.
I like
to
the
your
idea.
liking. And the best thing about it, it's so much healthier also. So not knocking any of the store-bought brands, because I was addicted to them for a very long time. But it just tastes so much healthier, and there's so much less additives, not as many preservatives, and you're doing so much for the planet, because since I have gotten this machine, I have not bought one single carton. And I'm so proud of this thing. So I'll be like making milks for all my friends and asking anybody if they want it, because it's so easy and so cheap as well. So I've gotten a huge jar of the black soybeans from the market for less than 20,000.
Right.
So, and that will last me months and months and months. So if you haven't tried this, please, I encourage you to try it at home.
Tommy says, 그거 콩국수 만들 때 써요. That thing.
Yes.
The machine, he says.
Yes.
그 기계요. So, I can see how this might be useful, and you're, cutting down on, emitting bad things to the planet. And also, I like this idea, because I was thinking, you know exactly what's going in it.
Exactly, yes.
So
the kind that I make is purely just black soybeans, because I think they're delicious, and the health
So do you soak them, or what do you do?
I soak them for a couple hours beforehand, and that just makes it smoother, so you don't have to. So if you're in a rush and you just want your milk in 20 minutes, you can just put it right in, and the machine will do all the work for you.
Oh, I see.
And the cleanup, because... If you're like me also, the cleanup portion is very important. If it's too heavy cleanup, then I won't do it. This heavy, you just, right after making it, I just rinse it out with warm water and a little bit of dish soap, and then it's done. Right? Just one part, you just rinse it out, and that's it. So because also this portion used to be, the health, or talk about health benefits.
Yes.
So I want to just cover really quickly, because I think the health benefits of black soybeans are so amazing. And that's all you're getting in this milk. So in half a cup of black soybeans, you're getting 11 grams of protein. So this is kind of the equal amount as just like cow's milk as well. And it's a complete protein. And so that means that you're getting all the amino acids that your body needs, which most other plant-based things don't have. So they also have omega-6, omega-3 fatty acids, and very low on the glycemic index. So meaning it has a high amount of fiber. You can digest it more slowly, and your blood sugar will not spike. So you have vitamin K, iron, potassium, magnesium, copper, riboflavin, all of these antioxidants that support your heart health, and for women especially. Did you know there's a study done on Asian women who had a diet higher in soy as children, and they had a 30% reduction of risk of breast cancer.
Wow.
So many health benefits for you as well.
Yes, indeed.
So of course, you want to make sure, to keep the health up on it, you want to make sure your beans are non-GMO, grown organically. Try to ask your wherever you're buying it if that's the case. But I also, of course, wanted to bring in, because I like to show it off, my own soy milk that I made, a little taste tester.
Do I get to taste?
Yes.
Ooh.
So you can actually tell the public, tell everybody what you think of it. So this is, I just made it.
This is like on the spot, on the go. Okay, so.
PD님 too also gets some.
Okay, I took a little sniff. Oh, and it smells so like rich, like I don't know, like nutty.
So this is no sugar, no additives, no salt, anything. This is purely just the beans.
Okay. So do I do the swirl?
I feel like I'm on Top Chef. I'm getting judged. Oh, I'm so nervous.
Oh, it's got like no like weird aftertaste.
Yeah, really clean.
Yeah.
And this is I kind of water mine down just a little bit to make it last a little bit longer, because I add mine to things. I like put it in my oatmeal. I put it in my coffee. So I don't make it super rich and heavy, but
it's so light.
Oh, good.
But I love the fact that I've had like manufacturer store-bought soy milk where there's other stuff in there to make it taste that good, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like so light, crisp, and there's like no weird aftertaste.
Yeah. So would you make the transition?
I would definitely want that. And I like the idea because it's like, it's not just for like soy milk.
Yeah.
But it's like you can use it for other stuff too.
Yeah.
Because I love like, doodling around in the kitchen. So I can get behind that. And Tommy's saying, 고양이가 우유 먹는 장면. Yes. You're just dun-dun today. You're just so funny today, Tommy.
Oh my gosh.
Earlier he was saying he has a beach towel that looks just like my shirt.
Oh.
It's like dissing kind of. I don't know.
No, it makes it like feel summery.
Yeah.
I think. Pinim, how did you taste it? How's it?
Oh, so he write 맛있는 콩물 나중에 커피에 타 먹을게요.
Oh, yes. So this is how I drink mine. I add it to other things. So I mean, I will say if you're used to having all like the very sugary or high taste, like a robust taste in your milk, then you can make it a little bit heavier, a little bit more creamy, and then add the sugars and stuff. But like you said, you know how much sugar you're putting in it, right? And
I like it.
Because this show is simply sustainable, as far as your carbon footprint, if you think about the cartons and things that are in the store and the process that they take to make all of these things, they have to put these things in the truck, they have to, so there's a lot of carbon footprint, not just from the manufacturing of it, and also the recycling part. And this is my huge PSA. If you are putting your cartons, it's the oat milk cartons, the soy milk cartons, any of those cartons in the recycling, they are not getting recycled.
Okay.
So please make sure if you are using them, you have to cut the top off again and then rinse it out and dry them out, lay them flat. Because otherwise, they're not. Yes, and if you're watching online, there's a little demo for you. This is how the cartons should look when you are recycling them. And I know because I take my recycling out and I see a lot of cartons in the recycling portion that do not look like this.
Okay.
They're the whole cartons and I'm always like, oh no, they don't know that it can't be recycled if you put it like that.
Okay, now we know.
Yes. So please do that. So this is why I wanted to bring this, because I think just a simple machine like this can really change, your lifestyle and how you are contributing to our wonderful planet.
And be healthier too.
And much healthier.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for bringing all of this in, letting us get a taste. And
You're
this is like
welcome.
so real. I love it. So take care and we'll check in with you real soon. Thank you,
Have
Bonnie.
a good day.
All right. Well, as I said earlier in our weather forecast, it is raining in, of course, Busan, but in other parts of the country as well. So on days like this, we need a little bit of extra patience. Leave a little earlier than usual. Keep a safe distance if you're driving with the car in front of you. And of course, if you're walking about, be careful. You don't want to get splashed on by passing cars or buses as well. So, and keep in touch with your loved ones today. Check in on them. A great opportunity to send them a text message. Better yet, call them, with your phone, on your phone, call them and, let them hear your voice and check in on them. Well, it's time to say goodbye on this Tuesday morning, but we're going to end it on this one. 그땐 미처 알지 못했지 by 이적. So have a good one. Bye, everybody.
난 자꾸 어리석은 아이였고 열병처럼 사랑에 취해버리고 심술궂게 그 맘을 내팽개쳤지 내가 버린 건 어떠한 사랑인지 생애 한 번 뜨거운 설렘인지 두 번 다시 또 오지 않는 건지 그땐 미처 알지 못했지 Oh no 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 오랜 뒤에 나는 알게 되었지 난 자꾸 어리석었다는 것은 술에 취해 집을 향하던 봄날에
English